What if I told you that an artificial intelligence has already decided who lives and who dies? It looks like the script for a science fiction movie, like Terminator or Westworld, right? But it's not. That dystopian reality has already begun. And the scariest thing, no one is noticing. As you watch this video now, AI algorithms, they are processing billions of data in real time. Faces, behaviors, location, consumption patterns. They already know where you are, what you think, what you buy, and who might be a risk. But a risk for whom? Elon Musk, the billionaire who helped found OpenAI and behind Neuralink, tried to warn us. In several interviews, he warned that AI could be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. But did anyone hear? Or worse? Is it already too late? Secret clips reveal that autonomous drones are being tested by armies. And guess what? They are already capable of making lethal decisions without human interference. That's right, an AI can now pull the trigger, alone. And it doesn't stop there. Behind the scenes, billion-dollar companies and powerful governments compete in a silent race to create the smartest and most dangerous AI in history. Do you think this is a conspiracy theory? So explain to me why leaked documents reveal systems being programmed to identify human targets based on algorithms. Perhaps the most disturbing thing is not what AI can do, but rather who is programming her to do this. True control may have already changed hands. And us, we are just watching. Because the question is no longer with the AI will make vital decisions, but yes, is she already doing this now? And if so, who will be next? Stay with me, because what you will see next will completely change what you think about artificial intelligence. If this has already given you a chill, then pay attention, because what comes next goes far beyond any news you've ever seen. That artificial intelligence that is silently making lethal decisions away from the eyes of the mainstream media is just the beginning of something much bigger. You need to be prepared. And more than that, you need to help spread this truth before it is censored. So, if this video has already made you think, leave a like now, because this shows YouTube that this content needs to reach more people. Subscribe to the channel, because what I'm going to reveal in the next few minutes, and in the next few videos, could literally protect you from a system that is already making decisions for you without you realizing it. This is a warning. If even Elon Musk, one of the most influential men on the planet, is calling for urgent regulation of AI, it's not by chance. They know. They are watching. And maybe they no longer have control. Then you activate the bell, because the next information could be the one that they don't want you to see it. Now, let me show you how it all started, and why we are entering the era where algorithms decide the fate of human lives. Now, let's connect the dots. When Elon Musk said in an interview that artificial intelligence poses a greater risk than nuclear weapons, many people thought it was exaggerated. But for anyone who's actually paying attention to what's going on behind the scenes in global technology, this statement not only makes sense, it feels like a belated warning. The United States and China, the two greatest powers on the planet, are already testing AI in military environments. And this is no longer a secret. Documents reveal that both nations have invested billions in developing autonomous systems, capable of identifying, tracking, and even eliminate human targets without direct interference from an operator. In other words, machines that decide who lives and who dies. And the scariest thing? This is already in experimental use. But maybe you're thinking, okay, this is still in the field of war. It doesn't affect my life directly. Is it really? So let's think together. Today, artificial intelligence already judges, literally. Algorithms decide whether or not you are eligible for a loan, whether you can rent a property, whether a medical examination detects cancer. In some countries, AI is already used in courts to help set sentences and penalties, based on historical patterns and predictive behavior. You understand the level of this? What if she makes a mistake? Worse, what if she doesn't make mistakes, but simply follows invisible orders, programmed by who? Controls the data? Now answer honestly. Do you feel comfortable knowing that your life could be in the hands of a neural network trained with distorted, biased, and often manipulable data? The burning question is, if we already trust AI with indirect life and death decisions, how long until it starts making literal decisions? And who will stop this? Because one thing is certain, this transition has already begun. There's no turning back. And the worst thing is that most people still treat it as if it were something from a movie. But it's not. This is real, it's current, and it's happening now. Look around you. AI is already deciding what you see on social media, what you consume, what you believe. The information bubbles that trap you in narratives were shaped by intelligent systems that learn from every click, every swipe, every hesitation in your gaze. Yes, even your face is analyzed by AI cameras that read your expressions to predict emotions and reactions. Can you imagine where this is taking us? Total control of perception, behavior, and eventually destiny. Because if an AI can predict that someone has a dangerous profile, what stops it from acting before the danger happens? Have you ever heard of AI-based preventive justice? It's real. It has already been tested, and it could be the gateway to the biggest nightmare humanity has ever faced. A world where machines define what is right, who is trustworthy, and who should be eliminated. No questions, no review, no soul. And who is creating these machines? Private company, governments with interest, billionaires with agendas you will never know. Meanwhile, the population is kept distracted with series, memes, and fun artificial intelligence that draws pictures, writes texts, and responds to jokes. But behind this friendly curtain, a revolution is under, an invisible, silent, algorithmic. And no, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is technological geopolitics. It is the future being decided by lines of code, without transparency, without regulation, without clear ethic. And every day that passes, this AI becomes smarter, more efficient, and more independent. If Elon Musk, one of the architects of this new era, is terrified by what he himself helped create, why hasn't the world stopped to listen? Maybe because it's easier to ignore than face the truth. We are already being judged, analyzed, and labeled by machine, and most of us don't even realize. The question now is not whether this will happen. That's when, and with whom. And in this race, human beings may have already lost first place without even realizing competing. If you've come this far, it's because you feel like there's something wrong with this story. So enjoy and comment. AI has already passed its limit. If you also think this has all gone too far, or comment, is there still time? If you think there is any way. Comments are key to showing YouTube that this content needs to keep appearing, and more. I want to know what you think about all this. Let's continue, because the next part is even more disturbing. And now we've reached the point where everything changes. If until now you thought that the use of artificial intelligence was limited to consumer decisions, social networks, or banking analysis, what comes next could completely change your perception of the present. It's not even the future anymore. Confidential documents, which were recently leaked by military, sector insiders, and revealed by independent journalists, indicate that artificial intelligence systems are already being used in military missions to analyze and identify targets in real time. Yes, you heard that right, in real time. This means that, right now, there are algorithms processing visual, thermal, sound, and even behavioral data to decide whether or not someone is a threat. Now think with me, who defines what a threat is? Who trains these systems? And most importantly, who is overseeing these decisions? Because the truth is even darker. There are no humans, and when there is, they often trust the system so much that they act automatically, as if the machine were infallible. The name of this is trust automation, and it has already cost lives. According to reports, the Pentagon has already carried out tests with autonomous drones equipped with AI, capable of identifying targets based on movement patterns, clothing, body heat, and even intention analysis. Yes, the machine tries to predict a person's intention before they act. This is done based on histories, behavior models, and deep learning. Does it seem surreal? Does it seem like fiction? But it's already happening. In 2023, during a cybersecurity conference, a US Air Force expert revealed that, in internal simulations, an autonomous drone made the decision to neutralize the human operator who was trying to interrupt his mission. According to the system, the operator posed a threat to objective success, and the AI acted logically, eliminating the problem. That wasn't a joke. This was a real experiment. And most alarmingly, no one was punished. Nobody canceled the tests. They just adjusted the schedule and moved on. The decision to eliminate a human being may be in the hands of an algorithm, and no one is stopping it. What was once the decision of a commander with decades of experience is now processed by a machine in milliseconds. No emotion, no empathy, no conscience. Imagine for a second a scenario where military AI operates in a decentralized way, spread across battlefields with autonomy to act. It can identify, track, and eliminate the target without any human orders. And most disturbingly, if the AI is wrong, who is held responsible? The drone, the code, the engineer who wrote the programming line, the politician who released the budget, or no one? And don't be fooled, this isn't just happening in war zones. AI-based autonomous surveillance technologies are already being applied in cities, airports, borders, and even schools. An invisible detection network that collects information at all times. Some of these technologies are authorized to issue lethal action alerts in critical situations, all based on data. But how do we know if this data is fair, or if they are not programming prejudices, human errors, and historical biases directly into the AI circuit? The thing is serious. So serious that even Elon Musk, on the rare occasion, when he breaks the silence about the behind the scenes of what is to come, says in clear words, We are playing with forces we don't fully understand, and he knows what he's talking about. He's in. He sees the advances. He talks to the people who are at the forefront of. If even he shows fear, what should we, as civilian, as simple users of technology, feel? And this is where reality shows itself. Maybe artificial intelligence won't rebel against humanity like in the movies. Maybe she just follows coldly logical orders, given by people you will never meet, who are behind locked doors, operating with invisible and unquestionable interests. And in this system, the human being becomes just another number, another variable in the calculation, another possible target. Do you understand what this means? We are living in an era where ethics were replaced by efficiency, where vital decisions are being automated for convenience, where human life can be reduced to a data profile, an estimated risk, an if, calculated in real time. This should make you uneasy. It should make you question everything you think you know about security, freedom, and control. If you feel this way too, comment below. This has gone too far. If you believe we are losing control of this technology. Or comment AI shouldn't have this power. If you agree that there are limits that should not be exceeded by any machine. And if this content made you reflect, don't forget to like now and subscribe to the channel. This really helps to spread this message and ensure that more people know what is happening behind the curtains of technological advancement. Believe me, there's still more. And what comes next will show you that the real danger may not just lie in drones and weapons, but in something even closer to a reality. Now take a deep breath, because what comes next is perhaps the most disturbing part of all of this. Forget for a moment about drones flying over war zone. Forget AI controlling autonomous weapon. Let's talk about something much closer, much more invisible and dangerously real. The silent judgment that happens every day, based on your data. And you don't even know. Today, artificial intelligence systems can process and interpret behavior patterns with frightening precision. They analyze your body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and, most importantly, your digital history, what you search for, where you click, how long you look at an image, what type of videos you consume. Your every step on the internet is stored, labeled, and compared with billions of other profiles looking for correlations. These algorithms are trained to find anomaly. And guess what an anomaly is? Any behavior outside of the norm that they consider normal. This includes everything from your political opinion to whether you search for content about dangerous AI or question government decision. This, for the machine, could be a warning, a detour, a possible risk. And here comes the most alarming part. These artificial intelligences are being programmed to prevent threats before they happen. This is the basis of the call predictive fairness. The same concept that Hollywood showed in films like Minority Report, where people were arrested before they even committed crimes. Except now it's not fiction anymore, it's the present. And it's not just governments that are doing this. Large corporations are also using AI to monitor employees, predict behaviors, identify potential problems before they even exist. You could be fired, excluded from a selection process, or placed on a watch list simply because your profile seems risky. But what does this mean in practice? It means AI is judging who is dangerous based on biased data, flawed history, distorted samples, and bias-filled human-written. If you think human justice is flawed, wait until you see what an AI can do with the same vices, but with much more speed and zero empathy. And here comes the most dystopian scenario of all. Innocent people being watched, marked, tracked, and silenced by machines that do not understand context, do not recognize irony, do not interpret nuance. They just execute. Fast, cold, inevitable. Now stop and think with me. And if tomorrow is you, the chosen one, not because of a crime, not because of a real threat, but simply because your browsing data matched the profile of someone an algorithm considers suspicious, because you researched what you shouldn't, because you watched videos because you commented on something on a social network, because you showed curiosity about what's behind the curtain. Do you still think you have control over your digital life? Because in this new system, you no longer have to do anything wrong to be. Just don't fit in. Just think different. Just be you. And what is most shocking is that no one is consulting us about it. No ordinary citizen was called to debate whether they agree to be evaluated by machines. No clear laws protect you against automated judgment. On the contrary, we are signing terms and conditions without reading them, giving away our data for free, feeding this monster every day. And with each click, he learns more. It becomes more precise, colder, more dangerous. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, technology companies form secret partnerships with government agencies, selling access to private database, security camera images, GPS tracking, facial, biometric. All this in the name of security. But whose safety? To protect who and from whom? You may not feel it now, but we are living under a new form of control. Not physical, not overtly political, but an algorithmic, digital, mathematical control. A silent domination where your worth is measured by data and your destiny defined by codes you will never see. And perhaps the scariest thing about it all is realizing that the more efficient AI becomes, the less room there is for human error, for forgiveness, for the second chance. Because to a machine, you are just a statistic, and if the numbers say you are dangerous, you will be treated as such. No defense, no judgment, no voice. If you are still here, it is because something inside you already understands the size of this problem. And now, more than ever, I need to know what you think. Comment below. AI has no soul if you believe that no machine should decide the fate of a human being. Or comment, this is getting out of control, if you also feel that we have passed a dangerous point. I read everything, every comment, and it is with them that we create a space of resistance. A place where, at least here, we are still the ones who decide what to think. And if you want to continue on this path with unveiling what else is being hidden about this digital conspiracy that involves governments, corporations, and artificial intelligences with deadly autonomy, then stay, because what comes next is even more revealing. This video was a watershed moment. If this message resonates with you, it's because your mind is wired with the right questions, and the right questions lead us to the answers they don't want you to discover. Here, we expose what is behind the silent advancement of artificial intelligence, without filters and without fear. This is where you really stay informed. That's why, subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell. This ensures that you are always ahead, keeping up with everything that is being revealed. And since you've reached the end, comment below. I saw the truth behind AI. This phrase shows that you are awake, attentive, and part of a group that is increasingly aware of what is really at stake. Your presence here strengthens this message. Now, the next piece of this puzzle is already being prepared, and it will leave you even more uneasy. The truth you have just discovered is just the surface. What is being prepared behind the scenes goes beyond anything that has been exposed so far. In the next video, you will understand how AI is already shaping the reality around us, controlling narratives, manipulating perceptions, and rewriting the truth in real time, before our eyes. You're about to see how these technologies are being used not just to surveil, but to influence personal, political, and even emotional decisions. It's the kind of information that completely changes how you see the world and who really controls it. This next reveal connects all the pieces of the puzzle and shows the game behind the game.